Tá, voltamos pra mais uma runzinha de Slay the Princess. Tá, tô aqui pra ceifá-la. Vamos lá.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first... If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get... Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least...
Não, já te vi várias vezes.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen. Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew... Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me. Because I would never want you to do that.
Mentiroso.
Believe it or not, I care about. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty... Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you... It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, just stay focused, will you?
Vamos conversar. Na verdade o mundo acabou, pois é.
How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round.
Pois é.
Maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now we get to go through the whole charade again.
Pois é, pode ser que seja isso mesmo.
That's assuming she's alive in that cabin. You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be here. Let me assure you,
mas eu matei ela.
Will not end the world. I don't know what you think happened to you last time, but it's a load of nonsense. And that's exactly what... Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh, well.
Pois é, eu matei ela.
You just can. You'll have to trust that what I'm... People locked her in that...
Tá.
Great.
Agora tá acabando. Não vou matar ela.
Before you go, she will lie, she will cheat.
Tu também, tu é um mentiroso.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind. The blade is your implement. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead.
Sim, a gente já matou.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
Eu vou botar a mão e não vai ter nada.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cap. There was, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly, it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Tô entrando por não sem pegar a adaga. Não vou matá-lo.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. But the room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick... Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh, wow. How absolutely terrible.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, killer. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. We could probably grab her and kill her again, if we wanted to. We don't even need a blade. She looks fragile enough.
Não vou matá-la.
I see you don't have that annoying knife anymore. So, does that mean you regret what you've done? Are you here to apologize and make nice? Beg for absolution, maybe? Because I might be interested in seeing a little begging. Of course there is. You can give me the only thing I've ever wanted. A way out of this basement. I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out. Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things. It'd be dull anyway. It's more interesting if we...
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. But I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in,
Quando eu mato ela, tudo
there's
acaba
very
de qualquer
little
forma.
anyone could do. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the... You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
É legal. Vou deixar ela me possuir.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your... I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
Agora já era.
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of... You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now. But we still...
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
Sim.
So, it doesn't work like... Clearly it doesn't. Or she wouldn't have commented.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that...
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about... You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously she's nowhere to...
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
Faz parte.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this.
It's okay. We're almost out of here.
Everything won't be fine if you... One way or another, this is all going to...
Wouldn't that
we'll
be
see.
nice?
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's...
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to...
But that's exactly what you...
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is... Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of... I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices? Your body continues its ascent. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from...
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he...
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for us. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than... And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute...
Eu vou embora.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging a...
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle. But you pause before you open it. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over.
Bora, vamos ver.
Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle collapsed to the ground. You and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world, but...
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Esse último passageiro e leve até o destino dela.
I'm out. You actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I meant to be.
Ela foi pra aquela outra entidade.
She's gone. Well, there's that mirror again. This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Ignore him. You have.
O espelho sempre vai desaparecer. Pois é, uma vez que eu fiz isso e aí voltou tudo, aí parou de aparecer a voz do herói, a voz do apático. Você definiu. Morri.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is all of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
A câmera se foi. Você não pode ser uma contradição não existe.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my... I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. As easily as you can stand to be you, you are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you... It says that your heart is gentle. This one is vaporous. She is a dream of a life she could never have, but that longing has given her so much Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew. We will know when we near it.
Loucura. Destruir seu corpo.
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our... The tides do not dictate where my gift...
É sempre resposta evasiva.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
E volta.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Fica pra próxima.